Mayfair Witches Season 1 Finale Recap and Ending Explained. What Rough Beast, the 8th and final episode of AMC's supernatural drama Mayfair Witches, depicts the events that follow Tessa Mayfair's death. By calling Lasher, Rowan Mayfair seeks to extract revenge against Keith Murphy for the death of her cousin. The supernatural being not only carries out her instructions but also reveals to her an universe in which she can continue to be just as strong as him. Cyprian Grieve attempts to save Rowan as her pregnancy takes an unforeseen turn. Episode 8's interesting conclusion combines vague yet significant events with disclosures. You have come to the ideal location if you are attempting to understand the same. Recap of the Mayfair Witches Season 1 Finale. What Rough Beast opens with Rowan Mayfair pleading with Lasher to murder Keith, but the paranormal force grants her request by consuming him inside a log cabin. Lasher subdues Rowan's thoughts and transports her in her head to Suzanne's home. The neurosurgeon fantasizes about being perplexed by the abilities Lasher gives her. They engage in sexual activity in her dream after she becomes sufficiently enthralled to accept him as her adored. She is a part of a prophecy, according to Lasher, that was made before he even met Suzanne, the original Mayfair Witch. Rowan, the 13th Mayfair Witch, is a doorway according to the prophecy. Albrecht, the Talamasca chieftain, informs Cyprian that Cortland Mayfair murdered his niece Deirdre Mayfair in order to bring about the fulfillment of Lasher's prophecy. Albrecht should be released, according to Cyprian, since he is a member of the same group as the father of Rowan's child. When the agent enters Cortland's home and touches a mask, a vision of Cortland raping his niece Deirdre appears to him. Cortland's paternity is revealed to him. The unborn child of Rowan continues to grow unhindered. She is discovered by Cortland in the woods, and he brings her to the Mayfair's tomb. Rowan encounters Suzanne's ghost at the location of her relatives' graves. The neurosurgeon is informed by the late midwife that it is time for the baby to be delivered. Calling the Talamasca to inquire about her missing brother is Cyprian's sister Odette. At Cyprian's apartment, when Arjuna and Albrecht arrive, the Talamasca leader obliterates Odette's memories. Lasher informed Suzanne that they were tied together because of a prophecy after he saved her from the king's men of faith. The 13th Mayfair Witch would enable Lasher, a supernatural being, to revert to human form, according to the prophecy. Then, Lasher made contact with all the witches of Mayfair, including the 12th witch, Deirdre. He feels the need to establish a connection with Rowan as well because she is Deirdre's daughter, and the 13th Mayfair Witch. In the meantime, Rowan and Cyprian become acquainted without being aware of the centuries-old prophecy. By becoming pregnant with Cyprian's child, Rowan creates a path for Lasher to develop into a person. Rowan is compelled to ask Lasher for assistance in order to teach the Knights of America a lesson when they begin to threaten the Mayfairs by killing Tessa. The supernatural being makes use of the situation to grant the witch's wish. Rowan, who is defenseless and fragile, is captivated by the way he also shows off his might. Rowan accepts Lasher and his abilities when he offers them to her so that her family won't be in danger once more. Her deliberate choice to establish contact with the supernatural being creates the conditions for Lasher to become involved with Cyprian's unborn child. The child Rowan gives birth to is none other than the human equivalent of Lasher, and by doing so, Rowan fulfills the prophecy that she will be a doorway. Both the Talamasca and the Mayfairs have been waiting for Rowan to give birth to Lasher's human counterpart. In order for Rowan to finally give birth to Lasher's human counterpart and carry out the prophecy, Cortland raped Deirdre in order for her to give birth to the 13th Mayfair Witch. Cyprian realizes that Rowan is becoming Lasher's slave when he hears about the prophecy from Albrecht. He doesn't want her to fall prey to extreme manipulation. Therefore, he wants to save her from the supernatural entity and his human counterpart. Rowan and her child are there when the agent arrives at the Mayfair's grave in a hurry. Rowan is delighted to see him and suggests they move in together to the Mayfair home. To cut the two of them off, Cyprian tries to remove the human Lasher from her. But Rowan does not accept it and forbids him from coming near her. Rowan thinks Cyprian is doing to her what her great-aunt Carlotta Mayfair did to her mother Deirdre by pulling her away from the 12th Mayfair Witch as he tries to separate Rowan and her child. She cannot allow the same thing to happen to her child as it did to Rowan, who went his entire life without receiving any care from his original mother. Rowan compares Cyprian to Carlotta because of the latter's emphasis on keeping the mother and child apart. After adopting the agent, she begins to think and act like Lasher, which causes them to be separated because she now views the agent as a threat. She may desire power after experiencing it via Lasher, which must be what is tying her to his child despite Cyprian's best efforts to keep them apart. Cortland attempted to capitalize on Lasher's prophecy after learning Cortland seeks to link Rowan with Lasher once she returns to the Mayfair household. Cortland must have realized that he might use the prophecy to avoid death, and achieve immortality when he was diagnosed with the deadly motor neuron disease amyotrophic lateral sclerosis. Together with aiding Lasher, he prepares the ground for Rowan's delivery to achieve immortality. Cortland gains immortality after Rowan gives birth to Lasher the human. He is unaffected when Rowan uses her superpower to try to murder him, making it clear that he will no longer perish. Rowan chooses not to kill him but to stop him instead. With the abilities she gains from Lasher, she appears to cover him in stone or transform him into a stone statue. If he is protected by solid stone, he might still be alive and unable to remove the barrier. If so, Cortland might live on forever, but from the inside of a stone covering, he would be effectively dead. Because of Cortland's greed, Rowan punishes him. He should have stayed away from Rowan and Lasher after becoming immortal. Instead, he uses Lasher's abilities for his own selfish ends in an attempt to capture the human counterpart of Lasher. Rowan ensures that Cortland is stopped since she doesn't want to lose her child. Thank you for viewing, and please remember to subscribe, like, and share.